In this video, all is not well with my Australian Ford. So let's dig in to what the problem is. So for the first time ever really in our ownership, Betty, the Ford Fairmont AU, has been rendered inoperative. She's had her issues over the years, but none have resulted in her not being able to be driven. But we've actually got a problem. Well, there's a couple of problems, one of which I'm hoping to resolve today, and it's wheel bearings. One of them at the front, pretty sure it's the front, is very badly worn, and I think it's this one, but apparently my front brakes, that sounds very grumbly, are sticky, so it's a little tricky to isolate. It could be they're both going, of course. They're both done probably 340,000 kilometers, so I think I'm just going to have to dig in, get the wheels off, get the calipers off, and then the hubs will spin more freely. That's the international symbol for spinning freely. And yeah, we can see what's going on. For those who are interested, you may think this is related to European Fords in some ways, or possibly American Fords. Absolutely not a bit of it. Australia went their own way with their own engine. The Intech overhead cam, there's a boast for 2001. Because the rival Holden used the ex-Buick V6, which was still overhead valve. But almost nothing is shared with European Fords. I think the only thing that is I reckon that stands a fair chance. The old mirror switch and the radio. Also very likely to have just come out of the generic Ford parts bin. Otherwise the stalks are different with indicators right because Australian. And there's the kilometerage, 340,500 kilometers. Uses a BTR 4-speed with lockup gearbox. Needs a desperately good clean, and is rear-wheel drive with a live rear axle. You could optionally have independent rear suspension, and the top spec Fairmont gear did have that. This isn't a gear despite the alloys, but yeah, this still has a live rear axle. Very simple, very sturdy, and hopefully very easy to change a wheel bearing on. I guess I'm going to find out. Huge thanks to David in Melbourne, who has sent over new HubNuts. If you're playing the HubNut drinking game, that is a HubNut. And we got the new bearings in here. You actually get the whole hub assembly. So while I could probably get the bearing numbers and get the bearings pressed out and new ones in, I think it's going to be a lot easier just to buy the hub. And even if you pay for these hubs, which I didn't, David very kindly sent them all the way from Australia. This was $150, I think, the pair, which works out at about 80 quid, I think. And that includes the new hub nut. There we go again. But this is likely to be our biggest change today. There's a reason I've got a very big torque wrench out here. And that's that this hub nut needs torquing to 305 Newton meters, well within the capability of this enormous torque wrench. But yeah, I've had to bring out the heavy duty stuff. I don't even know what size these are. Are these a full inch? They are hefty, so they're going to be our weapons of choice today to get the hub nuts undone and get Betty on her way once more. But yeah, first of all, I think I'm going to focus on the left-hand side. That's the side I suspect is most at fault. So we'll get the caliper off, wheel off, caliper off, and then see if we can spin the hub and hear a grumble. So while we're in there, and I appreciate this is quite hard to film whilst I'm trying to shake it, but you can feel that is playing this top ball joint. It's not horrendous. When she came into the country, the one on the other side was kind of just flapping around in there. It was barely attached. But definitely not ideal. We do have a new ball joint to go in, but presumably going to have to get this arm off, press the old one out and press the new one in. It's held in by this pinch bolt here into this upper arm. Well, no, I suppose that's the hub, technically the swivel. So that needs doing. Maybe that explains why this tyre has got some uneven wear on it. It seems more worn on that outer edge, and it could be because that's just enough to throw the tracking out. Huge thanks to Dale, who sent over, he was in Australia, he went shopping and collected some parts and then bought them in his suitcase. So thanks, Dale. Sent them when he got back. That is very much appreciated. Although the real heroes here are actually DHL. DHL is a company I've had some bad dealings with in the past. But Dave, over in Melbourne, ordered these parts from onlinecarparts.com, I think is the address, an Australian company. Australian company is obviously geared up for mail order because, like America, the country is enormous. Almost everything is mail order. And I think they were ordered on the 17th, dispatched on the 18th, and arrived with me on the 23rd of December, which was a Sunday. So that's fantastic delivery. Yeah, I mean, it takes longer than that to get stuff in the UK from the UK sometimes. And lots of Australian people going, well, that's crazy. It takes longer to get parts across Australia. But yeah, very, very good service. So thanks to all involved there, especially Dave, who very kindly just sent those free of charge. I met Dave when we had our only, so far, Australian HubNut social Melbourne, when we went on the old drift carts. Great fun. But a toppermost chap, thank you. Whereas the other bits, it's Dale. So Dale and Dave are saving the day here. So we've got a care package for Betty. It's got that top ball joint, and it's got filters and things like that. We did find something we thought, I don't know where we've put it, we thought was Betty's top ball joint, but it turns out it's not. I don't know where it's from. Let me see if I can find it. That's a no. Somewhere in this chaos is what isn't a top ball joint. Yeah, we'll worry about that another time. But I'm still talking. I need to get the brake caliper off. Well, a bit of a game to get the caliper off, mostly because I had to spend quite a long time finding my 18mm spanner, which I knew I had somewhere. Rather embarrassingly, it turns out it was in that drawer. Ooh, harsh. But with the caliper now tucked up out the way, we can see that I think I'm going to have to buy some brakes. These were brand new 3 years ago, and yeah, they're looking a little on the thin side now, aren't they? It's a big old car. It takes some stopping, and we have got a bit of a lip on the disc. We're well within disc thickness, but there is definitely a bit of a lip there. There has been quite a lot of wear, so I think a full brake overhaul is going to be on the cards. But let's just get the other pad out. There we go. Yeah, been a bit of sticking going on by the look of it, and not quite so much wear on the inner pad. Although, ooh, that doesn't look very pleasant, does it? Is that just because she's been parked up? Wow. Anyway, pads out. Let's put the pads as they were, so inner and outer. And we should now be able to spin this a bit more freely. Oh, of course the caliper's now running around inside there. We might have to get the disc carrier off, get the disc off, and then we can rotate the hub. Oh no, you can hear. Let's take the pad software off, because that's what's catching as the disc goes round. You'd think I was a professional, wouldn't you? Nope, not at all. I'll clean all that up. Oh yeah, look at the gunk in there. Clean all the hardware up, so it's working nice. But yeah, that's our problem hub. So let's get into it. The only problem I foresee with this is whether the old bearing is stuck on the shaft, on the spindle. But let's work out what we got here. I feel like 14s. Let's just have all the different spanner sizes for this job, eh? It is in fact 15, so we got 12, 15 and 18 required for this job so far. Marvellous. And I do like to use the actual shaft of the hammer. Oh, that's tight. I'm going to do that job with one hand, I think. Sorry, with both hands. With the bolts out, the carrier can come off, and with the carrier off, oh, bloody hell. Pardon my language. The very, very heavy front disc can come off. So now we got, yeah, I think that might be the one, you know. That is quite grumbly. Right, I guess we need to prise this off now. So bigger than my fingers. And after a few knocks, Our cap is off. Oh, someone got very carried away with it before. That was not me. You can tell it's rusty. But could that be the problem? I mean, that's not going to stop water getting in, is it? I may have to bodge that up with something, because you don't want water getting in here. That could be why this bearing's gone bad. But yeah, there is our nut. I don't think it's peened. I think it's just torqued up to a ridiculous amount. So this should be interesting. But note, the fact that the wheel's off makes no difference. The nut stays where it is. Right, let's try and get this bad boy undone. I've got a very long scaffold pole because your levers are your friend. Oh yeah, that's coming undone. Excellent. Or it's rounding, one of the two. No, that's definitely coming undone. Now, if you haven't got a massive torque wrench, it is possible to do a calculation and calculate how much force is needed on a really long bar to apply the tightening torque you need. But I'm not clever enough to know that. But hopefully, now we can, oh yeah, get that undone by hand. I have to say, that is a result, folks. But yeah, I think the dampness in here is why this bearing has gone bad. So someone got heavy-handed with it, and that has caused our problem today, really. In fact, I'm actually going to wallop that back on. I should have done this first. I should get some penetrating oil on there and a wire brush and get rid of some of this rusty dust. Would probably make life a lot easier for us. Yeah, look at it. There's no point forcing the nut thread, even though we're throwing the nut in the bin. We don't want to destroy the nut on the car either, because that is the same one we'll be using. So let's clean that up. There we go. Look, you can see it looks rusty in there. That is not what you want. So that's not ideal, but it's just going to be hard to get off. Am I going to need a hub puller or something? Might need both my hands. Hold on. Oh, okay. Well, that's what's meant to happen. It's just come off, but yeah, it was quite rusty in there. So it includes a new ABS ring as well. I don't think this is fresh oil. I think that's just because I was just cleaning up the ABS sensor. It's covered in tiny little iron filings. So that's what that is. Don't stress about that. So we'll clean this up and we'll fit a new bearing. Right, let's clean up this thread a bit more. Hello, pet Dot. That's Dot the dog has come to say hello. That just cleans the thread up, gives us the best chance, because that's clearly where the nut sits. So it gives a chance of it coming off again when you want it to. And also it just, yeah, keeps everything happy. We don't want to chew up the thread on the new nut. Speaking of which, where have I put it? Down here. We will just do a trial fit to make sure it's happy going on. Oh yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Right. So that's all good. Let's give this a last blast with the cleaner to make sure we're getting all the stuff out, and we'll do that again as well, and just clean it up, make sure everything is happy and ready. Beautiful. Okay, everything in place. Let's go. I am going to put a bit of thread lock on the new bolt just in case, or new nut rather. There we go. Sorry, Betty. Oh, now it's starting to get tight. There we go, and now we're ready for the torque wrench, which is a monster. This is how you know it's tight. You pull it up, it extends, and that's it. That's how you know it's tight. It actually bends, and where this handle is screwed in determines at what point it bends. So I think we can safely say that is torqued. Right, disc back on, caliper back on, and go for a test drive. And there we go, all back together. Spent a lot of time actually cleaning stuff up and getting dirt on my nose apparently. So all is now good. There's a bit of disc pad scuffage, but that'll settle off as she's been parked up for ages. So there's just a bit of surface rust on the discs, I think, but that's a lot better. Really, I should go over the brakes on the other side, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I obviously need discs and pads. I have pads, but I don't really want to put brand new pads on the manky old discs. So I think I'm going to have to next source a set of discs for Betty. So we've got the brakes to do. I want to do suspension overhaul in 2025, and I want to get that ball joint sorted out sooner rather than later. But otherwise, should be good. We're going to drop it down, torque up the wheel nuts, and go for a drive. Of course, the proof is in the pudding. Notice how Betty has a much nicer steering wheel than Bella, the Berlingo. Yes, I have forgotten my camera mount. How did you guess? Oh, that certainly sounds a lot better. Yep, the hum is gone. I've actually done a job and it's fixed a problem. Let's hope that's going to be setting the tone for 2025. We definitely need more cars fixed, but one of the problems is too many cars, very easy to justify when you're a YouTuber, but trying to keep on top of all the projects is the tricky bit, and especially when the dailies keep jumping the gun, so to speak. But yeah, it's very nice to be back in Betty again. Well, there we go, folks. Betty back in action again. Very, very happy about that. We're going to do about 200 miles tomorrow in Betty now to go and collect the HubNuts. Very, very pleasing. So don't forget, you can head to the HubNut store. We are back online and buy lovely merchandise. Here comes an Alfa Romeo. One of them. I don't know what it is. What is it? I don't know. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a future video. EU buyers, I am working on a solution for you to get merch. We're getting there. See you in a future video. Bye.